Real pressure right there. The real flame. What you may have missed is all the talking going down within that beat. This was produced in February of 2024. This instrumental and several others before that date and after have been riddled with people speaking from like a signal or something. It's being laid onto my music some kind of way. I wonder who. But this isn't the only obstruction and disturbance going on that I'm going to speak about. This has been very unusual and gotten quite dangerous. It's a bad ordeal for sure, and it hadn't quit. So I don't want to scare anyone with this type of content. I'm going to say these episodes are worth the watch even if it hasn't happened to you. Yet the purpose here is to display what I've been experiencing and to explain and demystify this little problem going on out here. Dealing with some people I don't know, but seem to know a hell of a lot about me. But yeah, it's juicy and it's serious. So if you just want to hear the captured audio, you can skip to it. It's in the timestamps, but it's suggested to watch before you listen. You can hear what those people are saying better with Apple AirPods. In this episode, continuing from episode 7, I'm going to cover this ongoing issue with my music being compromised and this hearable voicing by others just outside the doors of my living space and house. A little history here. This became extremely noticeable in 2021. Out of nowhere, and from the onset, all of this has been real nonsense. But with these people, it quickly turned terroristic. This ain't no ghost. I'm just going to put this out here for people to see and really let it unravel. I would have dealt with this when it started, but since it's more malevolent, and I've noticed this type of pestilence affecting other people, I'm going to humanize this situation and identify these folks because it's more than just my music being ruined. It was like a little gang or something just started talking all loud through the house and within a radius of me, but not like subtle whispers. It was like they cut on the cancel machine, like a little covert mission or something. They didn't know what they were doing. I didn't entertain it. I rejected it, but it continued and worsened. They were like talking directly at me, not just in my home with this sound mess. This is going on in stores. It was loud enough to be hearable by others. But what's more important here is that it's loud enough to be recorded and it's bad enough to be regarded as a threat. Unacceptable. Let's be clear. These people knew that they were talking to me. They'd never been helpful. From the beginning, these people were very parasitic, oppressive, and compulsive with the verbose. Just wanting to know information, trying to get me to act crazy, go have sex, just real foolishness. It sounded like they didn't know what they were doing and wanted me to move out the house. This wasn't the neighbors though. But then it got real serious. They started like zapping and popping my head, neck, and my back. In the winter of 2022, this still happens mainly in the vulnerable state of sleeping. This entire ordeal has become a high-key issue that I can talk about now. I'm not letting it go. They done too much. It started from nothing. I wasn't even bothering people. They came to me with this, so let's go. Yeah, real weirdo mode. That's not me speaking. There's no way you can't hear those people talking within those clips. I'm trying to make a living with music. It's what I do. I don't understand why someone would speak within my instrumentals when I'm a producer that has all this software available to raise up this sound. I can't get over that. Stupidity? These people are messing this up. Somebody's about to get in trouble, though. They keep saying phrases like, and somebody had sex. I don't know these people. Several things aren't adding up here. It's so irrelevant to me and my overall lifestyle that viewers of someone else that I explain this to just simply would not believe it or question what I'm doing. The enigma that the speaking of words from other people are hearable over instrumental tracks, also hearable in my house and really anywhere around me, it just doesn't seem true. People have to get real confused and I think scared. Even with these recordings, it's like people act like it's not happening or that they can't hear nothing. Huh? The goal moving there was only to jumpstart my business and kickstart my music career. Outside of that, there really wasn't any dealings and communication. So I still don't understand why this started, but it's been going on too many years. Now you can hear more music with this in the previous episode and others, but let's get to the serious matters. I've captured several hours of audio recordings of me just chilling outside this door of my house. I'll play some of these outside clips with the words on the screen for some, though a viewer will clearly hear that someone is speaking, not knowing what actually is spoken, could discredit these recordings and make it seem like a hoax, like I'm just putting words up on the screen that I made up. But I try to stay as accurate as I can with it. I purposely didn't put up the words for every audio clip because I want the viewer to really listen to this and what these people are saying based on this narrative about people I don't even know, telling me to go do stuff, a bunch of other appalling things that's frankly like too bad to write out. I want the viewer to understand that this stuff is very disjointed. I was completely unaware of the verbal direction and the objectives of these people at the time. The verbiage is very unhinged. Also be aware that again, these are not the neighbors or people walking around. Most of this was recorded in the evening. I'll provide some explanation because these recordings can sound a little staticky, gritty, and what's said may sound way too absurd to people that never heard anything like this, or a skeptic that may not even believe that it's happening. Compounded with the fact that it's hearable outside. There's a lot going on in these clips, but the words on these recordings become more decipherable when slowing them down and slightly adjusting the frequency with an EQ. You'll hear the same clip replayed with certain frequencies just simply increased. And then also slows so you can hear these people better. So here's outside. Absolutely shocking, dude. Okay, now, first of all, over anything, this is not me saying any of this. Y'all know that, though. This is not a hoax. People that know me know I would never say anything of the sort. No one was on the phone speaking in the background. I wasn't even thinking this in my mind, you dig? Yeah, I know it's tough to believe they're saying these things. Once again, I had on Apple AirPods. I could not hear one word that was spoken in any of these recordings. I'm not doing this. I prefer the traditional way of speaking to people naturally. And really, I'm not out here checking for people, much less listening to any person that sounds like that. To go over these clips and explain some of this, besides the unnatural state and constant annoyance of people speaking basic and repetitive phrases about people and stuff that's completely unconnected from how I'm living and all that sex stuff, there's some serious issues here. This turned terroristic and really into a cancel move. I discovered that they were saying phrases like they were going to do something to my family, meaning that they were watching more than just me and likely saying the same things to them. Then in 2022, this took a severe turn when I began feeling zaps and pops in my neck and head that's never happened to me before. I can't conclude if it's the same people that's doing all the speaking on the recordings or if someone picked up some friends over there, but that started causing physical harm, so that's bad. Then they kept talking in the house all day while sitting there working from home on the phone, purposely messing up the phone calls and job performance, which I still have questions about. Then I became sleep deprived. Then I had to go to the doctor. The list just continues. In most of these recordings, it sounds like 1 to 3 voices speaking within these clips. One or more sound foreign with these accents, and there seems to be some females in there that may or may not be foreign. These people possibly interchange with others speaking with the same accent, but mainly while living at this house, it seems like the same people that absolutely know they're speaking to me. I don't know how any person with those accents found me over there, but if these people are of a foreign nationality, there's certainly some affiliation with a person or people that are American or can speak English well, because it's in America. But it got to the point where they would even speak within coughs. Wow, then. I have never coughed and heard somebody speaking like that up under my cough until I got over there. Y'all better be listening out, man. So I got up on that canopy there one night just to sit and listen to music and just like vibe out, but I still wanted to record what was going on. So I used the ladder to get up there. But here's the thing, while positioning the ladder, it prompted these people to speak. Whenever noise is created, it like these people just start speaking more. So listen to these clips of audio while I was out there positioning the ladder to climb up on the canopy. Damn, boy, that ain't 3 cray, that's 6 cray. So when this began, walking through this doorway and hallway here, this is like one of the only pictures I have in this hall leading to my place. Someone was always speaking right here. It proves that some person or people were looking at me because they know I'm walking through the door. But they always said something insulting, like some comment, or those usual phrases, you need to or they f***. Here's some clips of me opening this door and in this hallway with the microphone.
Bro, what the fuck? Bro, what the fuck?
So I don't know how these people found me, but they came to the right house. I'm gonna keep talking about this until I see faces and know who's doing it. It's a lot going on in these clips, but the words on these recordings become more decipherable when slowing them down and slightly adjusting the frequency with an EQ. They absolutely said these phrases though. So to lightly explain this, these people are simply debating surveil civilians into like sexploitation. I was hearing phrases like this in several audio recordings while staying there. I just wasn't on any of this while kicking it in there. This is so crazy, it just seems unbelievable. But they actually are saying stuff like this to people. Like a viewer may not even believe they said that. But some of them sound foreign though. I can't run with anybody like that, man. These people are scoping. This is mega eavesdropping. These people are not who folks think they are. These people are trash, low grade, just watching people have sex all day. I'm gonna have to find y'all because y'all are still here tripping. Who let y'all in, man? Who let y'all do this, man? So beyond this whispering and lying to get me to have sex with people, which is really harmless yet irritating, it's just like a weak temptation. Here's where it gets dangerously serious on some real though. So I mentioned zapping in like every episode, and it began for me in 2022. So it wasn't concurrent with when the voicing began. It happened while just trying to work from home one day at the end of the year. It seems like they became impatient and like began using it to get me fired, to make me move. But they were also sending the recordings phrases like, "We will zap your head until you and we will zap your family." I got a problem with that. I don't know if another person or group came in there, but they started doing this. And later around March, they began hitting my neck on the wake up in the morning. You can actually hear the sound of it hitting my neck in episode 2, and it really sounds that way. I ain't never had a neck pop issue, so that's not what that is. That's actually how it feels coming from wherever. And you can also hear them mention zapping me later in the video. I just started feeling these hard pricks on the top of my head, neck, and my back, and it just never stopped. I feel like it messes up your dreams or something, though, if they do it for an extended period of time, though. They've been zapping me ever since, every day and night, mainly while sleeping. But over there and in 2023, they used to zap my head while, like, doing activities like riding my bike, walking around, and really anywhere, but mainly while working from home. Sometimes it feels like you're getting hit with a rock or, like, struck and pierced through the head. You kind of hear this crunching in the back. They started doing this too much. They got out of control, bro. Zapping my head over 200 and something times a day, and also while I'm asleep. Y'all know I ain't lying. And you can hear it in episode 6. Them just zapping things. Just zapping random objects. So it's like they gotta be looking through my crib to do that. But these zap clips are incredibly shocking. These were captured outside. Again, I don't even know. Again, I didn't even know they were saying this. These are the ones where these people are alluding to zapping me, and just anything where they were saying the word zapping. Again, I had on AirPods while this was recorded, but here are these zap clips.